talking about how amazing Africa is. On this platform, Zawe Moments, I bring you an ancient long food that has been in existence for so many years. Today, I bring you a certain kind of yam called Kyetutumula. But this yam is quite different from all other yams that we know. Move with me with Mr. Ssekimpi Emmanuel, a grower of these type of yams, today in this platform, Zawe Moments. Ironically, the most common yams are those with the suckers above the ground. But here we have another type of yam with vines. You may call them climbers or climbing yams that depend on other plants to reach a certain height.
This is an underground plant. It's in the species of yam, but locally we call it Kyetutumula. It takes around 7 months to mature. But if you want it to become bigger, you can just leave it, take the 7 months, it ripens, then it dries up, and again it germinates. So the initial one, the first yam underground, just get rotten. So the soil underground becomes so soft, and it requires softer land underground, soft soil. So whenever you just leave it to die, then it goes on, the soil goes on becoming soft, and the more it becomes soft, the bigger the fruit becomes. So you can take around 3 times, 3 seasons.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And at that particular time it has grown so big, and then you can harvest it. It has different, let me call them branches, underground. So you can harvest a big one, as huge as 70 kilograms, between 50 and 70. But as I go back, you can even harvest it at 7 months. That's when it matures. The leaves are turning yellow. So we call it ripens. The leaves ripen and it turns into yellow, and then it starts drying up. As you see,
but talking about a plant, you're talking about plant, but I can always see dry sticks and drying climbing plants. I don't see any.
Yeah. This one I'm touching.
Yeah.
It's dry up.
Okay.
So it means it got ripen. It matured at around 7 months. Then it got ripen, and then it started drying. So you see, this is now dry. So this is one of the, in our local language, our traditional language, we call it Kyetutumula. And another common name for the Ganda people, is emmere y'omutaka. That means the soil food. So it can be planted, left to dry, to grow, to regrow, to dry. It ripens, it dries, and then it brings up new ones. And then, as I mentioned, it becomes as much as big as you leave it to dry, and then it gets rotten inside. So, as I said, when it gets rotten inside, the soil becomes soft. So
the new one will. The new one will get enough space to.
Right, access to, and then it becomes bigger, huger, and huger, more huge as it grows inside.
Okay, before we uproot this one, can we see other examples of those which I haven't yet dried?
Yeah, I can see one which is which is still very green.
Can we go
And
there?
I can show another one which has started ripening. As I say, a climbing plant. It falls in the species of the variety of climbing plants. You see that you have to plant, or just grow it under some trees, like the Fiji tree, Mutuba. Or you can see this one, I planted it, and now it, as soon as it moves from, it brings shoots, it starts climbing. And the higher it climbs up, the bigger it becomes. So because it looks so comfortable when it grows higher and higher, so it brings more branches. Now these are dried ones because this is a dry one. But as we move, I can first show you one which is ripening. If you look at these leaves, the one was dry, but these leaves are ripened.
Oh, yes.
You see they have turned into yellow. So now this is a sign of maturity. So now you can harvest this even before it has dried up. The stalk is just here.
Ooh,
but
okay,
you see
okay.
where it has moved to. So now this is still, the other one was dry, but this is still green a bit. So now you can see where the leaves are, and this is still green.
So that's another young one.
Yeah, this is another young one. So this is around the 3.
And where is the stem? Because
the stem is here, it's still very green. And as you see, it's a bit big. So it means from this one we shall harvest a bigger one. As I said, if you look at this stem, it's a dried one. So it grew over the 7 months, and then I left it to dry because I wanted, for the purposes of making it bigger. So now you see this is a dry one, but this is a new one. So it dried inside, then I left it to bring new shoots. So this is a new shoot, and it is still green. So it is around 3 months now. And as I told you, you can leave it again to grow, and then you leave it again, then to dry again. So it, as I said, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger whenever you leave it to dry, to rot in the ground, to make the soil soft. But the good thing of them, you can grow them under the bananas, you can grow them under trees, you can grow them in gardens where you are planting potatoes, where you are planting cassava. So this is yam, that is the cassava, and those are the potatoes. So in the same garden. So it takes some little space. And in most cases you can grow it on the edges of the garden.
does it require live trees, or I can just use pegs and put them, just plant my own pegs? Could they be dry, or just they must be live trees?
I don't know. I don't think this is scientific, but most of the plants with these tendrils, just I don't know if they suck the sap from the live trees, but they feel more comfortable when they grow live trees than the dried one. Because I would have at one time I thought I could make a barbed wire just hang on the
Exactly.
But when I tried it was not feeling so well, so I decided to go back on the live trees. So this is live. I just got branches from where I cut them, and then I planted them here. We have different kind of yams. We have what we call the cocoa yams. In our local language, that is we call amayuni gabwais. Then we have Jamaica yams. We call it obwebindu or obukupa in our local language. Then we have these ones. They are like the leaves. They are similar, but we have what we call a Congo. So that is some of the traditional food. So for those travelers who made longer journeys in ancient times, they could boil those bikongo. It is also kind of yams, but they are so hard. Then they could move them on the packed in on their luggage, and they get some water. They go on eating. As I said, there are many different species of varieties. So there is what we call in our language Kyetutumula, which this is this one. There is what we call Ssese, is another type. There is what we call Nandikoya, I have mentioned that. There is what we call Erikongo, that is the hard one. Then there is what we call Balugu.
Are all these native?
Yeah, they are all native. And again, there is what we call Endagu. Like this.
What about Omunakukama?
Omunakukama, this mainly grows in forests.
In the wild?
Yeah, it's wild. So you can.
So it's not planted?
It's not planted. It's wild. And now many people don't take it because they are no longer collecting food from the forest. So that I think I would reach is very the western part, the bottom. So now it has become soft, and now I can just pull it, pull it out.
That is amazing. Let me
Like
see it coming out.
And then I lift.
Ooh. Hello.
And then see here, like any fruit, it has a stalk. Now, you see that it's the first part as you dig down. You can see the first stalk here. And then, this was another one. It was a new one coming up. And then this is now a mature one. So you can see, I've just left the part, but it's a smaller one, like this. So, as I said, this was like another tuber coming up like this, and then this one. But if you can, I think this is something like 10 kilograms.
10 kilograms?
Yeah.
And oh my God.
It's very rare to find a cassava which is as big as this one.
Actually, I can see even the tendons are still on.
Yeah. Now, a good example, if you come near here. And see, the advantage of this plant that you can harvest it, then don't leave the place of the soil to fallow or to rest. You just take off that one you need for the food, and then you leave the upper part. You just prepare the same garden where I have uprooted this one, and then you replant on the very same day. And then within a month, again it has started bringing new shoots.
So
I have already prepared the other hole, and I can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I will leave it planted today. This is not so big, but you can see. Then it has this one, which is here. Then it has this one. Again, it has this one. This was the initial one which got rotten, and it made the soil soft. This one, as you can.
That was the initial one.
The initial one.
And then
we
it
can
grew.
Call it, that was the mother, which has turned into, grown into all these four ones. So, two advantages. As I dig deeper, it's like again I'm preparing for the new plant I'm going to grow.
So immediately after, then you replant.
I remove the one as food, and then I leave the other one to be replanted in the same place.
This is an amazing kind of food that when you dig it out, you don't take a whole tuber at home. You've got to leave a certain piece of it for a new plant to feed. In other words, it's the kind of food which you've got to share it with a new one that you will harvest in the future.
Just gauge like this, and then.
So in other words, you've got to leave a piece
So
for
now,
it.
Yeah, now this is the food. Then this becomes the acid. Then the second one.
The piece that you leave there
Yeah.
becomes a seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I cut again this one. This is the third one, like this. Now this is the food. Again, this is a seed. And then eventually, I cut again this one, the fourth one, from the same plant. So I can cut here, like this. So now, this is food. Now you can see, oh, this is food. Then as I told you, I just repress this back. So now, so I repress it like this. So now it will grow, new shoots will come out of this, then this will become dry. And then shoots will come out from here, then it probably will make this one go the other side, this one goes on the other side, again this one goes there, and lastly that one goes here. So you can get more than 4, all 4 as you have planted. Then simply bring back this soil. Like that.
You don't have to leave your garden to rest.
Yeah.
You just plant immediately.
Like this. Like this. The same here. I cut a piece of wheat like this.
But so, you leave a very big piece, Banange, for what anyway?
Big, because as I leave it big, then it will rot inside. It will decay and rot.
Okay.
And as big as it is, it will make more the soft. I mean the soil more soft. So now I cut like this. So this is food. It's yellowish inside. It's like a cream inside. And now this one becomes a new plant. It still has its shoot, the old one, the dried one. So it supports it. As it brings new shoots from here, then they will climb following this one over, and then over these dry ones, and it goes up to this tree. Okay. So it goes up, and now I'm making this ceremony of replanting a new one. This is a day for harvesting, and it is a day for replanting in the same place, in the same soil, for the same purpose, at the same tree, with the same old stems, which will support the new ones to climb up. So, you see, this is the food now I'm getting from this plant. But I've left a piece for a new plant. It gives me this food, I give it back a part which grows into a new one. So it is something very fun, it's something amazing. It's like a humankind. If you are given, you have to give back.
Well, this is Amazing Africa, where we have amazing foods. Here is a plant that provides food, and it has done so for thousands of years to our ancestors. And this food has more than food benefits. This is Bambala Zabo Semakula for this episode Amazing Africa on this platform Zabwe Moments.